Hello everyone, this is Clark Khan. Today what we are going to start in this video is the green revolutions. In this chapter, the chapter of Indian economy second, where we are discussing the Indian economy in the period of 1950 and 1990. We have discussed some of the basic concepts. Let us take a quick revision over here. That Indian economy 1950-1990. We have seen what was the situation of economy at that time. We have seen what are the three central problems. Then we have seen how to solve these problems. For this we need to adopt an economic system, capitalist, socialist and mixed economy, either of one. We have seen how these economic systems are useful to solve the central problem of an economy. Later on, what we have seen, to solve this central problem there was a requirement of economic planning. Then we have seen the concept of economic planning, then its enactment in India and its implementations as a 5-year plan. Then we have seen the goal of these 5-year plan, which are related with the growth, modernizations, then self-reliance, and we have seen the equity. Then in order to obtain this goal, in order to achieve this goal, there was a requirement in the beginning 7 5-year plans through agriculture, industry and trade. These, the growth, modernization, self-reliance were achieved. In case of agriculture, this was the problem that agriculture was facing. This we have covered in last video. Then we have seen how two policies can be made for growth and of agriculture, land reforms and the green revolutions. We have seen the land reform, its consequences and benefits, the land ceiling concepts and all. Today what we are going to concentrate on green revolution. So green revolution were the step taken in the period of 1950s and 60s in order to overcome the problem of agriculture of Indian economy. Green revolution refers to a large increase in production of food grain. Large increase in production of food grain due to use of high yielding variety seed, HYV seeds. The green revolution concept is very common to you. You might have studied this in your previous social science classes also, in junior social science class also. So with the help of high yielding variety seeds, HYV seeds and modern technology, there was a tremendous increase in the production of food grain. So this whole process is known as green revolution. Let us see some further detail in this. In the Kharif season 1966, India adopted high yielding variety programs for the first time. In the 1966, India adopted high yielding variety program for the first time. The program was successful due to two reasons. One was the HYV seeds and adequate irrigation facilities, application of fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides, etc. So this is the requirement of green revolution. HYV seeds are required, and these HYV seeds require good water, so that's why irrigation facility is necessary. Fertilizer, pesticide, insecticides also at the same time are necessary, and then only the green revolution program was successful. Then HYV seeds, main reason for agriculture revolution. In the beginning what we have seen, the green revolution is helpful because of HYV seeds. So they were the main reason for agriculture revolution. These seeds can be used in those places where there are adequate facility of drainage and water supply. As compared to other ordinary seeds, these seeds need heavy doses of chemical fertilizers, 4 to 10 times more fertilizers, to get largest possible production. That's why we have seen, in order to have successful green revolution, what are the requirement? HYV seeds are required. These HYV seeds will be helpful to cultivate more, yield more, with good water supply and irrigations. At the same time they need good fertilizer, pesticide and insecticides. Hope the concept of green revolution is clear to you. Then Indian economy experiences the success of green revolution in two phases. The green revolution success in India in two phases. The first success was in the first phase, mid of 60s, means 66 to 70, mid of 60s to mid of 70s. Mid of 60s to 70s. The use of HYV seeds was restricted to more affluent states like Punjab, Western Uttar Pradesh was also there, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. HYV seeds primarily benefited the wheat growing regions only. In the beginning, HYV seeds has benefited the most of time the north part of India, which include the part of Punjab, Haryana, at the same time Western UP and some other affluent state like Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. and it was limited with wheat. In the second phase was mid of 70s and mid of 80s. HYV technology spread to a larger number of states and benefited more variety of crops, even in the kind of paddy also, rice also. Now let us see some of the importance. What were the importance of adopting this green revolution? The first was enable India to achieve self-sufficiency. The self-reliance goal was there, which we have made in 5-year plan. The self-reliance goal of India was adopted with the help of green revolution. It enabled India to achieve self-sufficiency. Attaining marketable surplus was the next important objectives and goal importance which provided by the green revolution, because attaining market surplus, before green revolutions only products, as we have seen the case of agriculture, only limited variety of products with limited quantity were produced, but because of green revolution the quantity were excess, and the excess before after use can be sold in the market. Buffer stock of food grains, because of increase in the total production quantity or yield quantity, buffer stock of food grain is possible. Benefit to low income groups, because decline in the food price. How there is a decline in the food price? In economics there is a common one of the central problem that we are discussing. In the beginning what we have discussed regarding meaning is the scarcity. Economics deal with scarcity. The thing for which there will be scarcity, there will be high price. If there will be less scarcity, price will also be less. So with the enactment with the implementations of green revolution in 2 phases, it helped to increase the overall production. Because of increase in overall production, supply increases. As there will be more supply compared to demand, then prices definitely will decline. In the same way of green revolution, the prices decline, and because of this decline prices, the low income group get the benefit and advantages. Hope the advantages and importance of green revolution is clear to you. But it is not limited with the advantages also. There are certain risks also involved in green revolution. Let us see what were the risks involved under this. The first risk of pest and insect attacks. Second risk of increase in income inequality. Green revolution seeds were seeds of HYV seeds, and these seeds were more prone to be attacked by pest and insects rather than other normal seeds. So this was the one problem. You need to take proper care daily. Then risk of increase in income inequality. As we have discussed that green revolution was in the beginning, first phase was limited in the mid of 60s and 70s, was benefited to more affluent and rich farmers, because it benefited more rich farmers. Why rich farmers? Because the requirement of HYV seeds, then fertilizers, irrigation facility, these all were costly, and it was not easy for a small farmer to arrange these all things. This was arranged by large farmer. That's why it had increased the income inequality. Big farmers gave more big and they get more profit, whereas the small farmers were not get any benefit of this green revolution. So these were the 2 problems related over here. There is another one more topic which is related with the green revolution, is the debate over subsidies to agriculture. Even at present there are number of subsidies, number of kind of benefit which the agriculture sector is getting. Recently the government announced to the debates were recently going on that the debt of and the loan of farmers should not be there, and government should bear, they should not repay of the debt. So Karz Maafi is the scheme that government has adopted. Like this, there are several debates over the subsidies to agriculture. Subsidies to agriculture means that the farmers get input at prices lower than the market price. If the market price is 100 rupees, then farmer will be getting it at a lower price, say 70 rupees or 60 rupees. So this is known as subsidy, like we are getting in cylinders and all. So there are argument in favor and there are argument in against. So there are different opinion. Those who are giving argument in favor and against. Those who are giving argument in favor, what they are saying, that yes, agriculture in India is still a job, risky job, and is done by poor. What they believe, that those who are in farmer, that agriculture is risky and mostly it is done by poor people. So they are in a need of this subsidy. Otherwise, without this subsidy, it will be not possible to grow. But those who are in against, what they are saying, though agriculture is risky, but still the advantage of this subsidy is getting by, most of the time they are the rich farmers who are getting the advantages. Those who do not need its subsidies, they are getting the advantages. So now let us see further. So these are the favor and against. Then critical appraisal of agricultural development. In 1950 and 1990, what we are going to discuss in this is the critical appraisal of agriculture phase. We have seen the agriculture, the situation of agriculture, the problem they were faced and how to resolve this problem, the land reforms and the HYV seeds, the green revolution. In critical appraisal, we will be discussing the advantages and limitations. The land reforms and green revolution were greater achievement. No doubt they were the greater achievement. This was the advantage. It was a greater achievement. Then substantial increase in the farm production because of green revolution and HYV seeds. India becomes self-sufficient. The self-reliance goal of India was helpful to be achieved by this. Then abolition of zamindari system, which was one of the prevailing system. Because of land reforms and land settling, the zamindari system and abolition of middlemen, zamindari system was over. Then less proportion in GDP. This was the problem, that though the number of pupils, overall employed people is very high in agriculture sector, but the contribution in GDP is less. So less proportion in GDP contribution. And the one of the important, that is disguised unemployment. Though the green revolution was adopted, still there is, even at present, there is a problem of disguised unemployment in the agriculture area. The unemployment situation where it seems the people are working, are employed, but their presence and absence does not affect it. Hope the concept of green revolution is clear to you, and by this we have covered our agriculture. In the next video, what we are going to cover is the second portion of this. And what is the second portion? Is the industry. We have covered agriculture, we will be covering the industry, and later on we will cover the trade also. So the concepts are clear to you and videos are helpful to you. If you have any such problem and confusion, please let me know. Otherwise it will be difficult for me to know whether you are getting any benefit of this video or not. If you are not getting any benefit of this video, then it is not at all senseless to make this video and all. So if you have any such problem and all, please let me know. Thank you very much. Have a very nice day ahead.